Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Cheers is one of the most iconic television shows of all time, with all kinds of big stars coming out of it, from Ted Danson to Woody Harrelson to Rhea Perlman. Shelley Long was in it. It's a great, great cast. And who could forget Norm as he walks in the door? Fantastic, fantastic show that really holds up, in some regard, not to the Me Too movement, but with a lot of other aspects of just how good of a show that this was. Very funny with adult themes. So what they've done here is they've given you a little bit of a trivia game, if you will, with a dexterity element to add in. This is simply a cash-in based on the series. I don't think, unless you're a huge fan of the show, that you'll want to go back and play this game again. Now, if you guys are going to do a marathon of Cheers or check it out on Hulu or Netflix or wherever it may be streaming at nowadays, and you want to play a board game around it, I think that this would be something that you might want to pull out and play just for some laughs and to have a good time, and maybe do some trivia with it. But I don't think there's a whole lot other than that. So this game, I'm going to say, not a lot here. This is going to be a purge, but for TV shows, it's really interesting to go back and see these cash-in shows, especially for Cheers. You wouldn't think that would have an audience that would be into board games at the time. You know, a lot of children's shows, you'd have the board games, but to put out a trivia show based on this, you still kind of see this. This hasn't gone away, but some of the more geek shows, you've seen fantastic games like Firefly, and Walking Dead's had a couple good games. So you can see the evolution of that. Otherwise, this is strictly a purge for me. Nothing to see here. Here's the board game, the game of zany notes and quotes from the hit TV series. We're going to take a look at the components really quickly. You're going to open this up. You're going to get a nice little board inside here. You're going to see it looks like the Cheers bar. Not at all. But you're going to have a circle going around here. You're going to have characters on here from the faces. It's going to be a little trivia game as you move around. So this is kind of like your classic mass market board game based off of a TV show. The board is very thick and very nice, though. You're going to get a rule book, which we'll take a look at in a few minutes. You're going to get these little tiles and tokens that you'll be able to use for the scoring. The cards are fairly nice. They're just going to have words on them. No artwork on these at all. They're okay for mass market. A little bit thin, but you're going to have a nice little cardboard case that you put together and keep them in. You're going to have standees. For some reason, they decided to go with cartoons with the real heads on them. It's very weird stuff here. Then you're going to have this Norm thing that you'll be using for a little dexterity in the game. If you're familiar with Norm, 6-sided die that will be included. And you do have a bunch of characters. These are really kind of thicker, almost like business cards. Sam, Cliff, Diane, and all the cast of it. The components are okay. Some mass market games don't expect too much. But, I do like the little added touch of this, this holder for the cards. And this little dexterity thing that's included. It's just plastic with a sticker. And it came stickered, which is good. Components are okay, but not bad for a mass market game. So the rules for the game is just going to be this one little sheet, black and white. List of the components, but no pictures, objects, setup, and how to play the game and kind of how to work it, and the Normie Olympics that you'll be doing down here. Here's a picture of that little dexterity thing that you'll have and how to use it, and then to win the game. Very, very, very simple game. The rules are very clear. Didn't have any problems. You got more questions about the questions, but not the rules. So to set up the game, you're just going to shuffle the cards, put the board out, put your players here in the office, and everybody will find their character and place this in front of them, which is a little of a cardboard. Tells you a little bit about their background on the back, and you'll just have this in front of you. You have the dice ready, and you're ready to start playing. On your turn, you're going to roll the dice and move clockwise a number of spaces. So let's say I'm Sam, then I'll move 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. So each space that you land on is going to activate something a little different. If you activate one of the solid colored spaces, then what you're going to do is you're going to pick up the card and read it aloud. You've got to hand it to Fraser. He really knows what melts Diane's butter. Then you have to guess who said that. Oh, if you're correct, and you said Sam, then you would get that card correct. If you're correct, then you will get a colored Cheers token of that color. So I colored blue, so I would get a blue token. And as Sam, I'm one step closer to winning the game. So these cards have a bunch of different stuff on. Some have quotes. Whose goal was it to be a big city bartender? It's Woody's. They may have questions. Go see Diane. Go to Diane's picture. Then you would just pick up Sam's thing, immediately go to Diane's picture. So that's probably pretty much what they're going to have on them as quotes, little notes like questions, and then move to certain spots on the board. Now, if you were to land on your own picture, so let's say Sam went to Sam, then you can choose any place on the board. So let's say you don't have yellow, you might want to move to yellow and try to answer a question. If you land on somebody else, in the illustration we had earlier, we land on Diane, then you would need to roll the dice. Then in her case, if I rolled an odd, I didn't, I rolled an even. Let's say I rolled a 5, then I would have to give up one of my tokens that I've already earned. But as you saw, I rolled a 4, so I don't have to give it up. And some of these will say odd, 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 odd. So you're always trying to roll a positive. If you were to land on this spot that says roll die, move backwards, then you would just roll the die and you move backwards that number of spaces. If you land on Normie's Olympics, like I did here, then you would challenge somebody and they would take Norm and put him out in the center, and then they would have to put the beer on him and try not to get the beer to fall off. If it falls off, like it just did, then I can steal one of his tokens from him. If it doesn't fall off, then he doesn't have one stolen from him. Once you get one of these tokens in each of the 5 colors, you are the winner. And I suppose that you can go back to the office and congratulate your win with a nice brewski. Good job, Sam. Who should buy this game? Strictly fans of Cheers, really. There's no reason to play this if you don't like Cheers. There's no reason to play this, maybe if you're sitting down and doing a marathon, you want to play a board game around it, or do some trivia. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but perhaps somebody out there does. They sell a lot of trivia games based on television shows. So, this game might have dated. People might not want to go back to it. Maybe it's a piece of nostalgia that you want, but otherwise, it's simply a Purge. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you liked it, please like it and hit that little subscribe button. That really helps out the channel, lets us know that you're getting the videos that you want. If you agreed or disagree with what I said, feel free to comment below. I'd love to hear what you have to say, and I promise that I will comment back. Thanks for watching, and everybody else, keep playing.